Hey, I'm Bergo and this is Psychedelic Actualization. On this channel we talk about topics like self-realization, self-actualization and working with psychedelics to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. And yeah, psychedelics can maybe help us with that intention to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. But can ketamine do that too? So I tried ketamine for the first time with a little bit of a higher dose. I tried it a couple of times before, but my effects were like very subtle and I almost didn't notice a change in my consciousness. But I've heard like many great trip reports about the use of ketamine for therapy, for example, with all the studies going on, or also for our consciousness work, for self-realization and for self-actualization. So although I wasn't really interested in doing ketamine for a long time because it's not natural and it just like the resonance was not there, I decided to try it out with a little bit of a higher dose just to see what happens and what facets of consciousness we can explore. So, and this is what happened. The dosage was like, I think a little bit less than half a gram of ketamine, snorted over a period of 1 or 2 hours, and I started with a little bit of a bigger line, waited for the effects to come on, and as soon as I felt the effects I started with shamanic breathing, and I was breathing for I don't remember, like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, like a deep shamanic breathing to just get it going and to go deep from the beginning to oxygenate the body. So what happened during the breathing was that my whole body started to vibrate, even to the point where it was difficult to remember to breathe even further. So that was really interesting, but that is also like an effect of just like the extreme breathing exercises, the vibrations in your body, but the combination with the ketamine was really interesting. So by the end of the breathing exercise, I was just laying down and fully letting go into the experience, just like with a mindset of curiosity and of letting go and surrendering, and yeah, just surrendering to the experience to see what will happen. So I was doing that, and I started to feel like the dissociation, this kind of separateness from my sense of self and my awareness and my body, which was kind of interesting. And when I opened my eyes, I had this kind of double effect. So the kind of psychedelic visuals were kind of there, but this double effect, or the kind of the visual effect and also like the body sensations and the experience in my mind was quite different, and it felt quite different from the classic psychedelics like LSD, mushrooms or DMT. It had like its own vibe to it. So at this point I snorted some more to go a little bit deeper, and at this point the experience started to intensify, and it intensified to a point where I was losing touch with my body. Like I was laying down on a mattress, but in my thoughts I was kind of melting into the mattress, or I was kind of even my body sensations or my sensations of my awareness were like extending and expanding into the environment and into the room itself. So that was kind of interesting and weird at the same time. I was like, oh, am I still laying on the mattress? I hope I don't like fall out, or like, I don't know, like, am I still laying here? But I was just like, okay, stop the worries, letting go into the experience and just observe what is happening. Also, my thoughts were kind of clear, but also kind of distorted. So there was also like this separateness from my awareness and the observer itself, and even my own mind. So my awareness was separate from my mind and even my thoughts. So I could like observe my thoughts from a distance. But for example, when I wanted to speak, it was so difficult to formulate my thoughts out, because there was also like this kind of distortion of time. And when I wanted to talk or to just to say something, I was so separate from my talking and from my sense of talking and hearing it, that it just felt like super duper weird to talk. So that was kind of interesting. And yeah, at this point, when I snorted some more, to go a little bit deeper, I was just like fully letting go into the experience. But it was more like, it was getting very, very intense, but I didn't have like fear of going deeper. I was like, okay, let's see what there is to go deeper. With other psychedelics, I have this kind of primal respect and a kind of fear to fully merge into the experience. Sometimes, not always. But with the ketamine, the fear was not there. I was like just kind of numb and just kind of okay with going deeper and okay with what intense stuff was happening in my consciousness. So this was kind of interesting. And although the experience was very intense, it didn't feel like insanely profound for me or sacred. So I experienced this different facet of consciousness, and it was interesting, but also intense, but also weird and chaotic at the same time, but not as profound and deeply personal. Personally, I mean, it's dissociative, you know? Yeah, it didn't like touched me personally. It was not so personally profound or life-changing in a sense. So that was basically all I can remember. There was kind of more stuff happening, but it was kind of so chaotic and weird and far out there that I was I couldn't extract like value out of it that I can, or an insight out of it that I can talk about now. So it was just like happening, and I was kind of floating in the room. And honestly, like what it felt like for me, this kind of felt more like tripping instead of exploring God, if you know what I mean, kind of. So it was kind of fun and weird and interesting, but for now, with just my it's just my first higher dose of ketamine experiences. So for now, at this point, I would say I would prefer the classic psychedelics for this work of self-actualization and self-realization. And just because like the resonance was also there. And then after the experience, the come down was kind of weird too. I was feeling the effects for quite a long time, and everything was kind of distorted, and this kind of visual effect with the double or triple effect of everything and not being able to see properly kind of made me a little bit sick and kind of I got a little bit of a weird feeling in my stomach. So that was kind of unpleasant for the come down. And yeah, afterwards I was just like kind of exhausted and tired and not confused, but kind of like in a dizzy haze kind of, which didn't really felt that good for me. So that was my first high dose of ketamine. I think maybe I'm gonna explore this substance a little bit further, look further into the studies and see what this medicine has to show us for our work. But for now, my standpoint is it didn't really resonate with me. It was interesting and intense, but not as profound or valuable as other things. So Thank you very much for watching. This was a quick drip report of my first ketamine experience. If you want to follow my journey of exploring these medicines and psychedelics on an even deeper level, and deeper levels and deeper levels, then subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in self-realization or self-actualization, follow along and join the community. And write down in the comment section below, have you had experiences with ketamine? How did it feel like for you? Did you have some spiritual insights into the nature of reality on ketamine? Or do you also prefer the classic psychedelics like LSD, mushrooms or DMT? Please let me know, I would really like to know. So thank you very much, all the love of the world to you. Namaste, and I will see you in the next one.